England Patriots, man. New England Patriots were an interesting team. They went through a lot of transitions in this offseason. Drake May is officially going to be their full-time starters. They got Stephon Diggs in the offseason. What's your thoughts on New England, man? I feel like New England's going to make a big move this year. I still don't think they're going to be I think they're going to be better than their record projects. I believe they're only projected to win like 7.5 games, maybe 8 games from there. I can see them being a 9-win team, at least. What's your thoughts on New England?
I think even 7 wins is a bit too optimistic. Like, I know obviously getting May his guy, getting him a great wide receiver to throw to a great veteran is going to be a great move for him. But I don't see that moving the needle so much. I could see, even 7 wins, like I said, I think was a bit too much for me. I could see them going about, they're 4-13 last year, so I could see them going 6-11. I think that honestly, like, even getting 1 to 2 wins, I think is a good step for them. The way how Buffalo plays this division, I think the way Miami is, I just don't see them being a 7 to 9 win team. I think that 5 to 6 is probably going to be about their ceiling this year. Again, it's not, and they're not necessarily under pressure to be that good right away. So I think that they've done just enough to keep improving, but I think that it's a slow improvement, not necessarily a big leap like you're thinking.
No, I think with Mike Vrabel coming in, I think that it makes a lot of sense. I think he's a hell of a coach, and I think he understands how it is to be in New England. I like that hire. I think the Mayo issue really, I just think he was in and over his head, and they were waiting on Vrabel to come in there. I think him coming there is going to be a big thing. I like the draft that they had their first 3 picks, getting Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, and Kyle Williams. I like all 3 of those picks. I think they were home run picks. Some people had issues with the arm thing. I think if you got the talent, you got the talent. That arm thing is a concern, sure, but I think if you got the talent, you got the talent. Honestly, like I was just saying. So I like Will Campbell. I think he was a damn good player in college to come over to New England. I think that's going to work out pretty well for them. I'm just a little bit more optimistic. I think Drake May is the real deal. I like what he's able to do. I think that he's finally going to be unleashed a little bit more this year after playing a little bit last year. You saw some really good glimpses of a guy that is mobile, has a good arm, doesn't seem like he makes too many bad decisions, and we'll see how it is being a full-time starter. They started out with Jacoby Brissett. I think he learned a lot, and Jacoby Brissett seems like the ultimate bridge guy. That seems like the guy, if you have a guy that's you want him to come in and win a couple games for you, or play a few games and teach. That seems like Jacoby Brissett's your guy. So I think it made sense for them to start him for a little bit, and then let Drake May finally learn to take the reins and take it over. Josh McDaniels is calling the offense. You know how he has his history with New England. I'm just a little bit more optimistic in New England. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year. I think I can see a lot of improvement. I think that they'll be in a lot more close games, and I just have faith in Vrabel. Actually, I think it's what it is. It's the Vrabel effect for me.
I feel like if Miami tanks this year, if they don't do as good as we're expecting them perhaps to do, if they don't, if, like, let's say worst possible scenario happens, like Tua goes down or something, I could see New England being that second team, then kind of leapfrogging them in the division standings. I think right now where everything kind of currently sits, with everybody, like the roster staying what they are and everybody not getting injured, I see this team I see them at least leapfrogging the Jets in the stands, but I see them being like 6-7 wins. And I think that's respectable. But again, something happens to Miami, I think Drake May and that team could definitely take advantage of that. I just don't see at full strength. I don't see them making up that gap just yet.
A little bit too early for it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hey, you know what? And I'm just speculating here at a contracts and all that good stuff like that. I don't know the number, so don't get all crazy about that. But there was a lot of rumors out there in San Francisco that Juwan Jennings is asking for something. Man, maybe Juwan Jennings coming over to New England to kind of go side by side with Stephon Diggs would be an interesting move for them to make as well, because they have a bunch of okay wide receivers. They don't have, besides Stephon Diggs, I don't feel like really a good number 2. I think they have a bunch of Bs. I don't think they have like a 1A, if you will. Maybe Juwan Jennings would be an answer out there. Obviously, contracts come into play. You never know, but that's just a name that's out there that's asking for a new contract.
Could move the needle potentially.
Yeah, I think so. I think Jennings is a really good player.